Hey guys, welcome back. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So, over the last couple of weeks, I've received a lot of questions about Project Ion, and I'm going to attempt to answer a few of them in this video. So, it's going to be a short video. If you guys have any more questions that you'd like answered about the game, then I will try to answer them in the comments section down below. So, leave a comment down below if you have any questions. We're going to do a little bit of mining right off of Traveler's Points, which is the middle outpost right there, and we're using the Wish 102 and the M-bombs that go along with it. So, let me get on with the questions. Question number one that I've gotten a couple times is, how do I get free stuff in game without donating? And, you know, where are these items, or what can I do to raise a little PID? Very first thing you could do, and you know, I wouldn't suggest you do this in other games, but you can actually ask other players if they don't mind donating to your character. This community in Project Ion is so friendly that you just stand around and you get items. So if you see me, ask me for a couple items. I will gladly give you a few items. The developers, yeah, they're just trying to get their game up and running with a supportive player base. I don't think they're donation hungry at all. And there's other things you could do in game. You can look around for marijuana plants or hemp. There's logs that randomly appear, and there's also uranium. And let me show you where uranium is. I might have answered it in the last question, but it's up in this little orange area in the top left, or the northwest area of the map. I believe that's called the Outlaw Zone or something like that, but it's a PvP. But if you run in there with nothing, you'll be fine. If you get shot, who cares, right? So there's pretty much a station in there that spawns uranium barrels, and you could loot them and then run out of PvP and then kind of spawn or respawn back to whatever outpost that is. Let's see, this is Whaler's Point. So that's one way. If you're having trouble getting started, if you're having trouble finding items, these items seem pretty rare now that the game has gone kind of live or out of beta, if you will. Just ask anybody if they have anything to spare just to get you started. And I'm sure somebody will give you something. So you can't say that about every other game. I'll say that much. A lot of people would not take too kindly for that. But I believe in Project Ion. It would be okay. Where do I see the game going from here? This is kind of a two-part question. Where do I see the game going? And will it ever reach the real cash economy? Now, I can't answer whether or not it'll reach that point of the real cash economy. I guess they were talking originally that it was going to be a real cash economy game. I would imagine it would take a large player base to really get that working for the developers. A lot more than what they have now. And I'll get to that because that's a whole other question, how many players, you know, are playing. I'll get to that in a bit. But where do I see the game going? The game, I see it actually not progressing as Project Entropia turned into Entropia Universe. I kind of see this taking its own twists and turns. I do hear a bit of development rumors thanks to Leo. I do know that their developers are working on an auction house. I knew that they're going to be working on some terrain. Amongst many other things, we just seen vehicles, so I think we'll see other vehicles as well. Finally, we got a hit there. Let's see what we got. Small deposit of uranium. Okay, great. So I think it's eventually going to become its own thing, its own unique game. And you can kind of see it's going in that direction right now. And sure, it does take a lot from the early days of Project Entropia, or Entropia now it's called, but back in the beginning, Project Entropia. So that's where I see the game going. I don't see it going down really the same path, and to be honest, I'm not sure if it will ever get to the point of being a real cash economy. Project Entropia, when it first started, there are very few games like it. In fact, there are very few MMOs. You have to understand Project Entropia was about 2001, and I think it was released gold in 2003. So if you look back in that time period, there were not a lot of MMOs on the scene. So there's not a lot of competition, and let's face it, getting players to join a sci-fi MMO when all the MMOs out were pretty much high fantasy, you know, elves and dragons and stuff, it was kind of easy for them to get players, at least to download it and check it out. So now, with the MMO scene being hundreds, if not thousands of MMOs, probably thousands, it's harder to gain players because the player base is all spread out. Especially a game so niche as this game is. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the developers to find players. So that leads me up to my other question: how many players are online? I can't really tell. It's hard to tell. I know I always see people online, whether or not I'm in an outpost or not. I know a lot of times when I play Eastern Standard Time, or whatever it is, East Coast time. So it's like 12 o'clock at night, and I know European players, it's like 6 in the morning for them, 7 in the morning. So I'm playing kind of an off-peak hours, or off-peak time. I should be dropping probes here. So, I still see people playing. So, I don't know. I would assume maybe there's 40 or 50, and maybe actually Leo or a developer can chime in to see how many people are actually playing, or when the peak population was. It'd be interesting to see how many accounts are registered too. So, I'm sure there's a lot more accounts registered than there are people playing. Do I ever see it reach in the Project Entropia amount reached? I think I've pretty much answered that question. I think eventually it could, but I think developers are going to have to spend some money marketing it. It's just not, like I said, it's just not easy to get an MMO off the ground now since there's so many of them. The other question is pretty simple. Where does everybody hang out? When I see people hang out, I always see people in Babylon. That's where I hang out. I know that's where Leo hangs out. So the southwest corner of the map, that outpost, Babylon. There's actually gigantic spiders around that outpost too, which are fun for hunting. So I see a lot of people hanging out in Babylon. And then my final question was, what profession do I prefer in Project Ion, and why? I love the crafting system in here. I think it's key that you kind of explore all 3 professions. Mainly because you need ammunition. You need to be able to craft ammunition to go hunting for a lot of the looted guns. Or the crafted guns like the Alpha RO2, just because I have it in my toolbar right now. But you need to craft ammo for that gun, so you have to do a bit of mining to get the mats for the ammunition, and then craft the ammunition for the hunting. Now, this is probably all going to change when the auction system gets up and running. I think it's going to be really good for the game to have the auction system up and running. Because right now, a lot of the resources like nitrate, uranium have markup in trades. So it's gonna be good once they have a good economy rolling, and I can't wait to see it. It's gonna add a whole other element to this game. So I actually prefer the crafting system above all others. I find it unique. I find it kind of rare. I think they really hit the crafting on the head. As far as uniqueness goes, and as far as skill and progression goes, it's really good. I don't really like mining that much. I think it's way too simplified. I would actually like to see like amps. I hate to say it, but that's the one thing that really draws me towards Entropia is, you know, kind of like the gambling aspect towards it. But amps or anything that I can use to advance my gameplay. Because I don't have a lot of time to play, or like I don't have a lot of time to mine. So like when I'm in mining Entropia, I mine AMP because, you know, I'm either going to mine for that 30 minutes, and that's pretty much going to be it. I don't have 4 or 5 hours to sit and mine up claims and, you know, keep on hitting the small stuff. So I'd rather hit it all at once or hit kind of nothing at all. So I would like to see some sort of amplification system for the mining. And then maybe treasure maps, or, I don't know, robot salvage, or something other than this. And that's something that I've also said to the developers in Entropia Universe too. When I was doing the tutorials for Entropia Universe, I think I did 22 tutorials for them. My contact within the development team had asked me pretty much what I would like to see in change in mining, and I just wanted to see more variety. And I think variety is really key. And right now in Project Ion, it's still new. I know they're still working on other systems that are more important, such as auctioning. So I think once those core systems are in place, they'll start expanding the rest of the game, and then we'll see more and more content. And hopefully they'll put in just something else other than mining for resources. Hopefully we'll get some sort of random drops or something like that. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I answered at least some of your questions. If you guys have any more questions, like I said earlier, please leave it in the comment down below. If you haven't yet done so, please like this. If you really liked it, share it. Share it on your Facebook. I'm trying to gain more subscribers to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.